Hi there and welcome to another episode of Weekly Wellness. I'm your host Amy Green and I'm joined today by Nina Vecchi, sound healer. So we are on the floor on the studio of FATV. We've beautified it with a beautiful tapestry and we have all kinds of sound instruments. So we're going to talk today about sound as therapy and that sound is an old ancient healing art that's making a comeback. There's a resurgence in sound therapy. Yeah. Because it's accessible.
It is.
Right.
It's readily available. It's around. Sound is around us. We're surrounded by sound.
Right. Well, sometimes we forget to listen.
That's right.
And then we forget how cleansing and healing that can be to us.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So how did you get started with this?
Well, I've always been a musician. I kind of came out of the womb singing and playing instruments, though I've never been technically trained. And I started by leading people singing and chanting about 4 or 5 years ago. And then a friend introduced me to the crystal singing bowls, and I knew as soon as I heard one that was it. It was all over, and all that I had to find out more. So I've taken several trainings, and it's an ongoing journey. And whatever I find useful, I love to share it with community because I feel that it's so easy and it can be such a comfort, and at the same time it can be fun and uplifting.
Right, and healing as well.
Yes, and healing as well.
Yes, because we know that you do great work up at the the Simon Herd Cancer Center.
Yes, we have a sound meditation for folks to come in, and we do the crystal singing bowls with guided meditation, and it's very relaxing. And when our bodies relax, it really enables us to heal much faster.
Right, and what a great group to be up there with. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes.
Serving the community. And not just cancer patients or survivors, but open to the public.
Yes.
Right. So that's awesome. Lead us through what some of the instruments or tools are that you've brought today, and then how we use them and how you incorporate them into healing and or therapy.
Okay. Great. Okay. Well, first I'd like to say that we humans have been enjoying sound together forever. This is what we used to do. We used to come together and sing and chant, play drums, have the rattles, and it's very invigorating to do that as a group. So we're just revisiting stuff that maybe we've forgotten about.
Right. Well, when you said a seed rattle, I was like, right. I mean, babies always have rattles. You know what I mean? And then we stimulate them by making the noise to see if their eyes will follow and they can hear. Right. So what's more primitive? You know what I mean? It's a primitive instrument.
But it's very effective. We also give it to the babies to change if they're crying.
Right.
To change to snap them out of it in a non-invasive way. And then it amuses them, and it also allows them to maybe let out some of their frustration.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you can look at your voice and sound as a method, like on a pressure cooker. It's a little valve that you can access just about any time because you can hum.
Right.
And that's letting out some of that pressure. So yes, this is a seed rattle. And we call rattles like a sonic loofah. Okay. Because you can shake it around and it kind of like wakes you up a little bit. Kind of like gets
the reverb from the body, the vibration from the body.
Yeah. And this is an ancient instrument called a sistra. This is a replica, of course, from Egypt. Okay. Another form of a rattle. But it's a little bit of a different high-pitched sound, which has very high overtones. Actually, we can't hear some of the sonic overtones that this is making. And we use sonic sound in medicine. So here's a primitive way of getting some sonic sound.
Okay, right. And that would change the energy of the body.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
And that's what that's designed to do.
And our emotions.
Okay.
Because we now know that a lot of our diseases come from emotions that have been stuck and held in. So when we have a rattle or a drum like this is a very large buffalo drum, it allows us to express that energy and move it out and get it away.
Right, and anytime that there's dis-ease of the body, it's due to stagnation. So here's very simple, effective tools to move that stagnation along, to bring in new, to cleanse that area out. And we've been doing it for thousands and thousands of years.
Sound is the first sense that develops. it develops in the womb. The baby's, that's the first sense the baby develops. And that's why babies will put their head down on the pelvis, because our bones are actually transmitters of sound.
Right.
So the baby will have his or her head down on the mother's pelvis and be able to hear better that way. Our bodies hear through our bones, through our fluids, and then the hairs in our ears hear with the air.
Right. It is a complicated, it's so complicated that it's easy, and we've overcomplicated things.
Right.
You know, modern medicine.
So if I were to take this drum, this is a large buffalo drum, and go like this. Now, I know this looks really funny, but you can feel the vibration here.
Oh, yeah, right through you. Yeah.
Yeah, right through you. So when, say you had a sore back, you could take a drum like this and hold it behind your back, and it would be like a massage because it's so strong. A back problem a lot of times is from frustration and stress that's been held out. So using sound, like a drum, is another easy way of releasing that energy and bringing the body back to balance.
Non-invasive. People don't have to worry about, going and getting a massage per se. You know what I mean? This would be a nice avenue to say, oh, I can bring about change to the body. With sound.
I'll grab my drum.
Right.
And that's why I think that we see a lot of resurgence of drum circles.
Right.
Because it's fun and people get to let out all that energy, because we wind up, we can't really speak our truth necessarily all the time in our careers. We have to keep a lot of things in. So on the weekends, we can go pound drums, or at night.
Right, and Fitchburg has a very active drum circle.
They do.
In town, meets right up at the Common now. Yeah. So looking forward to hopefully some nice weather so they can get back outside.
I've been to that. It's
yes.
very invigorating. So we have drums and rattles and bells. And you can hear the high overtone of that.
Again, just a disruption to the body.
And it's cleansing.
Okay.
It clears the space. A lot of times they'll use high-pitched chimes to begin or end meditation sessions because of that.
All right, right, and the what are the two?
Tincture.
Okay, those, right, yeah. We've always started meditation with something like that, yes.
Yeah. So if, say you feel there's stagnation in a room, you could walk around with these if you wanted to. And I tell you, this bounces off the walls.
Well, you can hear the difference even here. We've got really tall ceilings here.
So these are fun little goodies that I brought. Here's a bell stick, another form of a rattle, a little bit of a different sound. But they're fun. They're fun to play. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll get a group together and we do sacred sound circles, which is kind of like a group sound healing session. And people come in from their jobs, usually at the end of the day, and they might be, or they might be, and what we'll do is we'll give them a rattle, we'll give them a drum, and then we'll ask them to sing with us.
Okay.
So would you like to sing?
Of course, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Right.
Okay. So one of the songs that I like to start off with is a song of gratitude, because it's nice to be grateful. It makes you feel better.
Yes.
So the words are very simple. This is a Kay Gardner song, and the words are, I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air that I breathe, and I thank the water for nourishing my soul. So I'll just play the drum a little bit, and what I would do is I would walk around playing this, and people pick up a rattle. I'm going to be pretty bossy today, so
that's okay. I don't mind that. Right.
I thank the earth for feeding my body. I thank the sun for warming my bones. I thank the trees for the air I breathe in. I thank the water for nourishing my soul. I thank the earth for that for probably about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And it would get really energetic, and people would have their little rattles and drums going. And it's just a fun way to let off the steam, to energize your body, and bring the whole group in tune with each other.
Right, because we've all participated.
Yeah.
You know, so as a group, you know, there is something about that group healing and group meditation that's healing to us.
It is, it is. And when we sing, our voices actually become one, you know, so the intention behind that is really cool too. So that's how we would start something like that, and then we might go into a slightly softer song or a chant, just to kind of, you know, bring the energy down and refine it, become more relaxed. And then there are other exercises, meditations that we do before we go into what I would call a sound meditation with these crystal singing bowls that I've brought here today, which have a very pure tone to them. They're made out of quartz crystals, and quartz we use in electronics because it's an amplifier of energy. So the quartz are notes, and they're being, you know, sent out to your body. People are usually laying on the floor. People find it very, very relaxing to listen to the pure tones, and they have a slight pulsation sound to them because of the shape of the bowl.
Okay.
Let me play one for a second so you can hear that. There's a little bit of a pulse to it because of the shape. Yeah. So our brains, and this is science now, our brains try to tune in to the difference of those frequencies. That's called the binaural beat. And that actually brings our brain state. It's like the fast track to bring your brain state down. Right. For meditation. So you can go very deeply, very quickly into a deep state of meditation by listening to these, and, you know, lots of other different types of music. I mean, it's common knowledge that we do use music as meditation. Music stimulates so many parts of our brains. It stimulates both sides because it can be mathematical with the beat, which is the left side, and it can be creative and emotional on the right side. Right.
Well, I know think tanks use these pure notes all the time when, you know, these group of brainiacs, you know, get into a you know, their room, and it's all the pure tones, and then they just sink deep into that, and that's the great thought processes happen during that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's used worldwide throughout the world for different reasons.
Yeah, yeah, and it quiets the mind.
Right, gives you that opportunity to really heal and turn off kind of for a while.
Yes.
Because we all have, well, I like to think that I've got busy mind syndrome, you know, just go, 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 go. And oh, it's nice just to kind of just be still for a moment.
Yeah, and the singing does that too. There's some simple, we would call them mantras, which are chants, but, you know, it's not, doesn't have to be anything spiritual or religious. It's just like tones that you're making with your mouth. You're occupying your brain while you're making that, and you're also breathing. When we sing, we're like filling up our lungs. It's great. We're just bringing oxygen and nourishment to our blood by singing. So can I teach you a little chant?
Sure, of course. Right. Yeah, it's game day, so we're game on today.
We're here to play. Okay, so this is a dotar. It's a drone instrument. It only plays one note. And this one is tuned in G. And I've given you a crystal bowl there. That's also G. Okay. And, okay, so the mantra that we're going to use is very simple. It's Om Hum So Hum. Okay. And that mantra's intention is to kind of like balance the body, balance the brain. And it can also be done as a breathing meditation without speaking. You would inhale on the Om and exhale on the hum, or the so. Okay. I mean, inhale, so, exhale on the hum. I had it backwards, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll get through it.
So let's do it as a singing meditation. You can play the bowl, because it'll be the same note. And then we'll stop and we'll just breathe a little bit. time.
They are just beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you feel the relaxation?
It's amazing.
Yeah. So that might be a simple chant that, if chanting calls to you. And that's the fun thing about sound. And you don't have to have these special tools to do this yourself.
Right, and no right or wrong.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a singer, everybody who knows that. I'd like to pretend that I am, but I'm
that,
not.
We've told ourselves that we're not singers, our voices aren't good enough, but it's your voice and it's good enough. And it's what your body has to, release that energy and get rid of some of that stress. So even humming or turning on your favorite rock and roll music, perfectly wonderful way to relieve stress.
And acceptable to sing along, maybe make up your own lyrics.
Sure.
And, yeah. Sure. I just want to make that point because I have a bad habit of that. I like to change the lyrics around. I hear things differently.
Yeah.
I can't be blamed.
Now, when you stop and you think about it, in the movies, when we hear a soundtrack, that invokes an emotional response from us.
Oh, it sure does.
Yeah.
Right. Jaws, perfect example. Exactly right. And we just know that something bad is going to happen based on that music.
Right.
Now, can you imagine if something bad didn't happen, how disappointed we would be after that?
or a lullaby, for instance.
Right, yes.
Or a love song. Or a rock anthem that's used, say, at a football game to, stir up the fighting spirit.
Excite the crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So really, when you think about it, it sounds kind of like really obvious now to use to help yourself heal and to make yourself be calm.
Right.
Happy.
Right.
Energetic.
Any of those emotions.
Yeah, dial in what you want.
Right, and hence that's the array. I mean, I know that you've only brought a small sample of the singing bowls, but an array of that, because each one of those will touch people differently.
Yes, they will. They will. And some of the bowls that I've brought here today are infused with semi-precious gems, and some people are into those gems. And I have like amethyst, rose quartz, emerald, and moldavite. Moldavite comes from meteorites that crash into the planet.
All right.
Yeah.
I've got a patient that loves that type of jewelry. Yeah, we'll go and seek that.
Yeah, so it's meaningful for those people to know that, oh, well, this is rose quartz. I love that.
What is the dark blue one there that's right in
This
front
is
of you?
titanium. This is titanium blue. And it's quartz crystal underneath it, but it's been coated. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's different than all the other.
It is. This is my favorite one.
It is. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I brought this with me. Yeah. So would you like me to play
Yes,
them
definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. They can be like bells, too.
Pulse of that is remarkable. I mean, it really does pulse. I don't know if the viewers at home will be able to pick that up, but there is it's like a living, breathing pulse that happens that I hear.
Yeah. People love these. They come and they bring their yoga mats, pillows, and blankets, and they get all comfy and they lay on the floor. And we have a guided meditation, and they just kind of listen to these and just melt into the sound and relax. Yeah,
it's
they go really deep when they do it.
I bet. Right. Oh yeah, because it does take you. It just removes you from what's happening in the everyday chaos and refocuses your energy to heal.
Yeah.
Now, brass.
Those are actually made out of 7 different metals. They're Himalayan bowls.
Okay.
And as a sound healer, I use these, I might actually even use these on the body. If someone came, let's say for a Reiki treatment, say their back hurt, I might fill one of these with some warm water and put it on their back and hit it, which would give them the vibration and the warmth all at once to help relieve the tension that's going on. And again, some people find these also very meditative, and these can be playing with this type of striker. These have more overtones. You can hear there's a couple of different notes going on here. And another instrument that we use, and I would use this at the beginning or the end of a session, would be this gong. Now, gongs have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and they have multiple harmonics, which means that you're getting multiple notes at the same time.
Depending on where you strike?
Yes. So what I would use this for is, I just need to move this over a little bit, is I like to use these in the beginning and in the end to just kind of sweep things along. Here. So there's kind of a rhythm that's going on there too.
Right, and I would have never guessed that that was going to be the sound of that. That's very ocean sounding to me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking more like, you know, gong, and then it, you know, kind of.
You could play it that way too if you wanted to, but that's not how I prefer to play it. For this purpose, it would just be like sweeping things along. Now, an interesting thing that dawned on me one day is that when we want someone to be quiet, we go shh, and that's kind of like stop, shh.
Right.
So you're like stopping that sound with a shh. We use our voices intuitively as sound healing instruments, especially with little babies, the sounds that we make to them. Recently, I've become a grandmother, so I've noticed these things that we do.
Okay,
Yes.
right. You're probably even more cognitive aware of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you know, knowing how it affects, right,
Yes.
and that so many times, you know, our voice is the first thing to get suppressed because of that shh, you know what I mean? And, you know, dog training, same thing, you know what I mean? It's usually a poke and a shh, you know what I mean? Or to break the cycle of the brain cycle of what's happening for unwanted behavior.
Exactly. So we all have our voices, they're with us all the time. So if we can learn techniques on how to use our voices, I actually believe our voices are the most powerful thing that we can use for our healing.
Well, I'm sure in doing, you know, the Reiki and, you know, the chakras of the body, you know, you find everybody is all hung up in the throat chakra because we're suppressed on so many levels, you know, and the voice is the first thing that, you know, we're told to give up, really, you know, as young people. You know, as we wrap up the show, would you like to do another bowl, another singing bowl as we close out? Sure, and if you don't mind, I'd like to join in because I find it fascinating.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, viewers, let me take this opportunity to say once again, thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you have the resources available so that if you'd like to find your voice again, if you'd like to use sound as therapy, again, Nina does the sound therapy, the healing up at Simon Herd Cancer Center. Take advantage of that. Until next week.
Well, just the sound bath, just the one sound bath we do.
Okay, up there at the Cancer Center. Okay.
As like a community service, we do it.
Okay, all right, good to know. We're going to lead out by this, so if we end the show, take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next week, be well.
Thank you.
I thought I did. Yeah, I thought I picked up on it.